Hello and welcome back to 10 at 10. My name is Michael Ramage. I'm the director of the Cyber Education Research Center here at Murray State University, and welcome back to 10 at 10. 10 at 10 is brought to you through a partnership between Murray State University, Sprocket, West Kentucky, and KY Innovation. Welcome back to episode 273. As I alluded to last week, I wanted to talk a little bit this week about what do we need to do to secure our home network. And so let's just dig into it because there's a lot that we could talk about. I want to try to hit on the key elements. So I found this diagram online, nothing special about it, but this is just a graphical representation of a lot of homes. It's got different computers, it's got different devices, it's got a TV, it's got gaming systems, and in this case, it has a media server. But the key piece is up here, you can kind of see my mouse. There's a home wireless router that connects to the internet. So it's internet, it's the router, wireless router, then it's all the devices. Now for me, I have a cable modem at home. My internet comes into the cable modem. The cable modem goes to a separate wireless router. And then from that wireless router, it goes to all of my devices that I have. So what's important is that nowadays, there was a time when a lot of people would wire their house with Cat5 or coax or something. Now most of our devices are connected via wireless. So that wireless access point is really a critical piece for our network, meaning that if it is compromised, then essentially all the devices on the network are compromised. It's that one weak point that can give you full access to everything on your home network. Last week, when we were talking about foreign-made routers being banned, that's why. That's the whole reason why. So if your information that you're sharing at home across your home network, okay, maybe it's video games and nobody cares about it. Maybe it's Netflix and nobody cares about it. But if you're checking email, if you're doing work and your work is sensitive, and they have control of your wireless router, then they have control of your data. That's why it matters. So with that in mind, what do we do to secure ourselves? So first of all, you got to secure your wireless. Change your wireless name, change your Wi-Fi name. The name that comes on your router by default, you don't want to use. The password that comes on your router by default, you don't want to use. You want something that is unique. Just like you're doing unique passwords, you do a strong wireless password for your home network. I don't typically broadcast the name, though that's not necessarily a massive security element. You want to use WPA, WPA3. You want to enable that so that that adds a little bit extra element of security. You want to secure your wireless. That's step one. Very simple. Changing your password and your wireless name should be easy first steps to take. Step two, you want to lock down your router. So when I say wireless router, it really serves two things. It's two things built in one, really. It is wireless access point. Murray State has a ton of them. Your organization probably does too. If you go to McDonald's, there's wireless access. Then it aggregates all of that and sends it out on one wire up to your modem or to the internet. So in that regards, it's also a router. You've got to secure that. By default, there are some very basic ways that you can get into that router, things that bad guys know. So you want to change the admin login, meaning you want to change the username and password to get into it. Now, I'm telling you to change all these things. You got to make sure you remember them. Same way we've been talking about with password vaults, with all those other things. You got to make sure you remember these passwords as well, because you change the password, you're locking yourself out too. Second, and this is really important, you want to update the firmware. There may be a month, there may be 6 months, there may be a year between the time that device was manufactured and you purchased it and you installed it. I mean, you think about it, it's got to be, the chips have to be burned in. It's got to be shipped to whoever is selling it, to the distributor, then to the retail store. Then you have to buy it. and you have to install it. There's a lot of time usually that goes in between that. And during that time, there's often updates to the firmware of that router, meaning the operating system of the router. Always go in, always update that, always make sure that that looks good and is up to date. That will help your router avoid some of the vulnerabilities or protect you from the vulnerabilities that have been identified. And then the last thing on locking down your router, I want to say, is to disable remote access. I'm sitting in my office today. I should not be able to log into my router from here. There's no need for me to be able to log into my home internet router from here. Unless you have a really good reason, disable that. You don't want to do that. There's no reason for you to do that. Disable that. That means you won't be able to get into your home router remotely. That also means bad guys won't be able to get into your home router remotely. So disable that piece. All right. Along with not just your router, but all of your devices, you want to keep your devices updated. Updates fix security holes. So turn on auto updates. Now, we're going to talk more about this in just a minute, but when I say keep devices updated, I mean your router, I mean your modem, although you may not control that, your computers, your TV, your DVD Blu-ray player, if you still have one, your thermostat, your Amazon Echoes, your Xbox, you fill in the blank. All these home devices that we have now, all of them have firmware now, and all of them need to be kept up to date. Many, I won't say all, many of these have auto updates if we turn them on. I recommend that you turn them on. Could it potentially hurt it? Yes, it could. The chance of that is pretty low. The chance of somebody breaking into your devices because of a vulnerability that you failed to patch is higher. So that's why I recommend it. And then turn on multi-factor authentication. If you're using on your home computer, if you're using a device on your home network, always have multi-factor authentication turned on. For example, I have a digitally or internet-enabled thermostat. I can turn it. I can adjust my thermostat remotely, but I have to log into it with multi-factor authentication. I can't just put in a password in it and do it. That adds me a layer of protection. I recommend that you add that same layer of protection to your to all of your devices. All of your devices. If there's a multi-factor authentication option, then use it. And the reason is that if one device on your home network can get compromised, then there's the potential that they can use that device to connect to another device and ultimately compromise your home network and be able to see or steal that confidential, that sensitive data that you're using on your computer, or hack into a camera that you might have at home, or fill in the blank. There's a lot of bad things that could happen. So make sure that you have MFA on everything. Monitor your apps, monitor your smart devices. If you see anything that's out of the norm, then flag it. There might be something going on that you need to take a look out for. And then finally, watch out for scams. There's a lot of bad guys out there that are going to try to trick you into things that may or may not be true. For example, if I sent you a text message and said your Amazon Alexa was misbehaving, click this link to help it. Well, the odds of you having an Alexa are pretty high. I would say maybe not half, but a good percentage of people have Alexas now. So you might, I've got an Alexa, so you click the link. Or if I sent you a message that said your Ring doorbell camera needed to be updated, click here to update it. There's a good chance that you have a Ring doorbell. So we've got to be alert and watch out for all of those things. And so just be very careful and watch out for those scams. I think that's something to certainly be have an eye out for. All right. Finally, just let me summarize all this thing. All these steps that I'm talking about are really not very big, heavy lifts. None of them cost you money. It's just some small steps to take, but it's going to result in big security for your home network. I highly recommend that you take the time, take those small steps. It will help protect yourself, your family, and even your business if you're a remote worker. If you have questions, please let me know. Thank you very much for joining in, and I'll see you next week back here on 10 at 10. Thank you. Bye.